Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today it's Easter Monday, 10th of April, and I spent yesterday, Easter Sunday, getting this done. We were out until 11 o'clock last night, rolling this whilst it was still dry. It's rained so far all this morning, and it looks like we've got rain for the rest of the day now. And it's had a good soaking, so it's, you know, hopefully going to get off to a good start. But God, I'm so lucky we managed to get that finished off last night. And yeah, it's gone back to wet weather again. It's always the way. We're keeping an eye on the rest of these calving cows. We've got 8 left to calve and they still haven't had any of their calves yet, so unfortunately they are taking a little bit of time, and yeah, we'll see how we get on, but it is what it is. You just got to wait for them to have their calves. So these are done for a bit. I'll put them in the shed. Next time we'll use these is when we plant the turnips after harvest, so wash them off and put them away. Okay, well, I've just come down to the marshes. These are the ones which we've recently acquired, the 32 acres, which I was telling you guys about a couple of weeks ago, and the grass has certainly grown a lot since we last came here. It's about 3 or 4 miles away from the farm, so you've got to drive down here to check them, and then on the way we've got some sheep and cattle over that side across the bridge, the St Olave's bridge that is, and so this is what we're going to get for silage this year. We haven't put any fertiliser on this because the farm, like many farmers around here, you can put your land into schemes for the environment and you're not allowed to put fertiliser on the marshland because of the NVZs and SSIs and things like that, you know, so you've got to be really careful when you put fertiliser on. I actually heard a story the other day. There was a farmer just literally a couple miles down the valley there. He's got 500 acres and he's just rented his whole farm out for like rewilding. So he's packing up farming and completely going out of farming because he's getting paid to basically not farm, which is interesting because many years ago farmers here used to get the farm subsidy back when we were in the EU, the European Union, and of course now we're out of the EU with Brexit. A lot of farmers are losing their BPS, their basic payment scheme. Basically, if you're not from farming, fuel, feed and fertiliser has always been expensive, and with the supermarkets always bullying the farmer, farmers generally don't make that much money, so the government would step in and subsidise you. But well, back in the day the European Union would do that, and now with Brexit we're basically not going to receive the farming subsidy, and instead we're going to be paid for farming. I don't think any of the politicians really know what's happening, but we're going to basically be paid for rewilding, which means leaving the land barren. There's going to be huge companies like EasyJet Airlines, with all this carbon stuff and with the climate change and everything, Shell, BP, all of the big oil firms who feel guilty because they're contributing to climate change. They're going to be jumping on the bandwagon and they'll be paying people for carbon credits basically. So it might be in the future that we get paid on the farm to sort of manage areas of the environment for oil companies, which I know it sounds really crazy, but that's some of the ideas of things which I've been told which might happen in the future. And you've got to understand that as a young farmer, if I wanted to buy another 10 suckler cows, 10 heifers to join my small herd which we've got on the farm and try and increase the stocking density to make a living, I'm being told with these marshes and with land we've got on the farm that we've got to lower our stocking density. Oh, it's raining now. We've got to lower the stocking density. We've got to have less cattle. We've got to have less crops, less intensity, no fertiliser, farming in a sustainable way, which involves rewilding and not putting fertiliser on and trying to reduce everything down. And yeah, it's all very complicated. I wish it was better outlined, but that is what's happening. So we're basically going to be paid to not grow anything, which is crazy. So as you can see, this grain is lovely for the grass. It'll get that grass growing. Hopefully we'll have a good silage cut down here this year. So far it's proven to be quite a wet spring. Very wet. See, there's a lovely rainbow now. Sun's just come out. See, I'm trying to be positive and think about the future of the farm. And I'm always worried about where the farm's income's coming from and what we can do to improve the farm, and I'd like to increase the stocking rate, but I can't because of the environment and rewilding. So the farming policies at the moment are pushing me towards this sort of environmentalist route, and I'm wondering, do they want farmers to be farmers or environmentalists, who are looking after the environment? There's a very fine line, I think, between producing food for people, the population, and also looking after the environment. And I think you don't want to be on either side too far, but there's a fine line. Just with this rainbow, there's a fine line in the middle somewhere. Sort of the environment, farming, and it all meets in the middle somewhere. Well, we've come back home. This is the 9 acres, which is another silage field. This is growing along quite nicely, and yeah, it's stopped raining now. So I'm actually just sitting here having a drink of some fizzy water. I don't drink any of these soft drinks these days. Coca-Cola, Sprite, all that stuff. It's all full of chemicals and rubbish, which you don't need in your system. So I only drink fizzy water now and normal water, and yeah, notice the benefits. Olly's farm, we're not just farming videos, you know, health is wealth and all that sort of thing. Yeah, try and drink healthy, eat healthy as well, meat and 2 veg. I was talking to a villager the other day, local from around here. He was saying back in the day, everyone around Norfolk, they all used to eat meat and 2 veg. They do a lot of manual work on the land, hard work, because there was no machines or anything back in the day. You know, all the workers worked hard and they had meat and 2 veg, and actually that's one of the healthiest diets and lifestyles you can have. And unfortunately these days, everyone's eating all this processed food. You know, everyone's on computers, they're in office jobs, they're not doing any physical work anymore. And I think that's not good for society, that's not good for people's health and well-being. So yeah, try and do some physical exercise and just eat meat and 2 veg. I try and eat a lot of the food we can produce on the farm. Like we'll have a cow killed every year, we have beef, we have lamb, vegetables from the garden, potatoes off the fields. I do baked potatoes, all roast dinners, stews, things like that. Yeah, you'll notice that that lifestyle is a lot healthier than a lot of the processed stuff in society these days. Okay, and this was another problem we've had recently, is I haven't been able to spot. When I was rolling yesterday, I saw some rabbits, and in the daytime I thought a lot of them had gone. I thought they'd disappeared, but last night we were coming along here with the 6R, I had the floodlights on, and it was full of rabbits. So we have got rabbits, and they're clever. Those out there, they're not rabbits, they're hares, but the rabbits are on this margin, and they're coming out at night, and then they go in the field and eat all the barley. But they only come out at night when it's pitch black. In the day you don't see them. So there's 2 ways I've come up with how to get rid of them. Either put ferrets in there to try and ferret them, or get night vision system on my rifle to try and pop them off at night. But yeah, they are around, and I'll pop it on the screen now. I couldn't believe last night when we were coming along here, when I saw all these rabbits, and I thought, oh blimey, where have all these rabbits come from? And I wondered what was eating the crop. So now we know. Okay, so I hope I've been able to answer there sort of how we're farming now in going into the future. So you've got the 135 inside there. I'm saying to the government, you know, I'm a young farmer. I'd like to buy some more cows, increase the capacity. And the government at the moment is saying, no, Ollie, that's not possible. We want to pay you to do less farming, and we're going to pay you to look after the environment. So that's sort of what's going on. It can become very complicated, and it all gets very blurry. Fundamentally, that's what they're trying to do. So leave a comment in the comment section. Do you think farmers should be paid for producing food? Should they be paid to look after the environment? Or maybe they should be paid for a bit of both. Sustainable farming livestock or crops with the environment at the same time. I think that's probably the best solution. Yeah, leave it in the comment section. Enjoy your Easter weekend. Unfortunately, we haven't got any eggs for the channel. I feel like we need to get some Easter eggs, but yeah, I haven't had one in years, so maybe we'll get like a lint bunny for the next video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Olly's Farm video.